Hello everyone and welcome to the penultimate episode of this Bake Off series. Yes, it is the semifinals. I can't believe I've made it all the way to the semifinals as the only contestant in my own kitchen. And this week, in addition to being the semifinal, it is also patisserie week. If you're not familiar with patisserie, basically it's what you would imagine if you're walking down like the Champs-Élysées in Paris and you go past like a pastry shop and you see those dainty little things in the window. That's patisserie. Patisserie is meant to be small, elegant, and very refined. It usually comes quite late in the season of Bake Off, I've noticed, and I think it's because it takes a lot of technical skills to execute because the threshold for how it's supposed to look is very high. So with that being said, here I go to tackle patisserie week. But before I get into that, let's go over what the challenges were for the bakers this week on the show. So the signature challenge for this week were domed tartlets. The technical was Gâteau Saint Honoré, which Saint Honoré is the patron saint of bakers. Didn't know there was such a thing, but and gâteau means cake. And then
Gâteau means cat.
No, gâteau means cat. Gâteau. And the showstopper challenge was a sugar glass display case. I'm not doing that. I find the showstoppers can either be like really cool, like challenges, and then sometimes I think they're a bit ridiculous. How can you expect someone to pull something like that together? This is what I find myself thinking with some of the showstoppers. Paul, you make that. I'd like to see you make that in 4 hours, sir. Because sometimes the quests is what I was going to say. The challenges they give these bakers, they're so out there. I think the point is they want the bakers to do something they haven't done before, and there's no way a home baker is like, you know what, I'm going to make a sugar glass display case. So anyway, I'm not doing that today. Today I will be doing a signature challenge, and I will be making the domed tartlets. So basically what it is just a tart with a dome on top, and the dome usually has a few layers of various things throughout. I'll be making a tarragon Bavarian cream to go on the outside, and then I'll be filling that further with a lemon curd. My pastry tart shell is going to be a lemon poppy seed, and I will also be topping this with a mirror glaze, which is something I've never done before, but is something I have been very eager to try for a long time. When they are done well, they are so effective. My fear on the outset is that the mirror glaze ruins what was otherwise a beautiful thing. So we'll have to see how that goes. I think that's good. Okay. Ooh, it smells so good. And now I'm meant to slowly add this to my mixture here, but I have to do it very slowly because I don't want my eggs to cook. Oh gosh, I'm nervous. So far so good. My eggs aren't cooking. I honestly thought my eggs were gonna cook because this is the first time I've made a custard like this. And now I cook it again until it reaches 85 degrees Celsius because the recipe I'm using is a British one. That's honestly really cool. 81, 84, okay, we're at 85. Get off of there. Ooh, we've got a nice creme anglaise here. I've never made a custard before. Okay, now I'm gonna add the gelatin. Probably should have added a bit more water, but it should dissolve. So, not really worried about it. I say that, but gelatin is one of those enigmas. This looks like gravy, doesn't it? So this is our Bavarian cream, Bavois. This recipe calls for a stick and a half of butter. It's fine because this is the most velvety, wonderful, delicious lemon curd ever. And I know it's because it has a stick and a half of butter, because that's how most things are that require that much butter. This is one of those recipes, you just make it. Don't worry about what's going in it, just make it, you know? 2, 3, 4. So now I'm gonna turn on the heat and I'm just going to stir this constantly for like 15 minutes. If I was on the show, I would probably half this recipe because I'm sure it takes this long because I'm making this much, but you know. Here's our creme anglaise. It's looking a little bit stodgy, I think because it got a little cold. So we'll just do a little bit. I'm doing a bit of a macronage here. Didn't mean to. This looks really tasty and like really pretty. Like definitely like something you'd see on Bake Off. Ooh, ooh. Got my sphere molds here. It says pour it in. I think I'm gonna have leftovers here. So let me just, or actually maybe not. And if you think you see cat hair, you do, because this silicone like mold here has attracted, I think, every cat hair in this house. And I have cleaned it multiple times, but if you have cats or really any animal, I think you know that it's just inevitable that they're just a part of every meal. Into the freezer. If you're new here, hi, I don't eat gluten. If you're not new here, then you're sick of hearing me talk about it. But anyway, so I am making, the reason I bring it up again is because I'm introducing the second flour blend I've ever made. So this is not store-bought, made this myself with white rice flour, brown rice flour, tapioca starch, and potato starch. So I am really interested to see how this goes. Out of all the flour mixtures that I've seen or made, this is the one that looks and feels most like normal flour. So feeling hopeful. Okay. I don't know if this is supposed to be as crumbly as it is. I don't know. This just says mix it until it's thoroughly combined. So it's very buttery. Just gonna press it together so it's a cohesive mixture. I think this will be great as a tart because buttery tarts are good. All right, so here's what we've got. They seem set, no problem. So I'm gonna grab a spoon, I'm gonna carve a little bit out, and I'm gonna add buttercream. I just need to be very, oh man, I can already feel that these didn't go all the way to the bottom. I am not gonna have perfect domes, I can tell. Oh well, let's just carve a little bit of this out. To the freezer. Looks like it's cracking. Not sure why. Goodness, it's very soft. Probably needs to sit for a little longer, but I'm ready to get a move on. I will say I'm liking the look of the poppy seed. It's looking a lot like the original recipe I got this from, where it used a sponge cake. So I'm liking how this is looking. Yeah, this dough probably need a little bit longer. It's very, it got warm very quickly. It feels very malleable. Just need to be very careful with it. The nice thing is it's going to be covered. You know, it's not like this is the top of a pie or something. So, all right, so these are gonna go in a 350 oven for 10-ish minutes, and then we'll check on them. And as I predicted, there's a divot at the top. Unfortunately, the mirror glaze is going to highlight every one of those lumps and bumps. One of the things that I know the bakers often do is put a layer of like buttercream or ganache to make it nice and smooth. I'm not doing that. These probably should have been smooth. I'm just bad at filling molds, I guess. It smells nasty, to be honest. It just smells like sickly sweet. That's what it smells like. Sickly sweet. Like when you walk into like a candy store or one of those like ice cream shops that makes its own cones, where it's just like sugar is in the air. That's what this smells like. That's a neat color. I was skeptical. Look at that, babe. It is yellow. Okay, gonna pour it through this. You need to get down. You're being bad. Guilty. That looks amazing. Oh, am I on Bake Off? Shut up. So these are a little soft because they've been out of the freezer for a little bit, but also because we want to eat them kind of right away. I don't know, how does that look? Maybe I can do like a... Okay, so here is my domed tartlet. I didn't do anything dramatic in terms of chocolate decoration. Probably should have. This is patisserie. What are you gonna do? I'm ready to give this a try. So as a reminder, this Bavarian cream on the outside is a tarragon cream. On the inside is a lemon curd, inside is a lemon curd, and then we have what's supposed to be a lemon poppy seed crust, but it's more of a poppy seed crust. So let's give this a slice. Okay, so my dome is pretty nicely filled, as you can kind of see. I think there's a good layer of cream on the side and in the top. Hold on, my cat's in the trash. Stop it! All right, let's give it a taste. The cream is still slightly frozen, which was hard on my poor little teeth. The main flavor is lemon curd. The tarragon, I hate to say it, is pretty much completely lost, I think. I think if the tart itself was not filled with lemon curd as well, it would have more of an opportunity to shine. Yeah, because in that small bite, I do get the tarragon. It's very lemony, which I like. I just wish that that beautiful, fragrant tarragon just had more of an opportunity to shine in this. Lemon curd is definitely the dominant flavor, which isn't bad because it's good. I like lemon curd. I especially love this recipe. I just think there was more of an opportunity for enhanced flavors here, and I think I kind of fell short, which is, of course, a little bit of a bummer. I think in terms of patisserie, for my first try at patisserie, I'm not disappointed. My mirror glaze, I think, turned out okay. I think the fact that my spheres were not perfectly round made my mirror glaze not execute as well. As they often say on the show, every mistake you make, every blemish on your cake or whatever you're making will be highlighted by the mirror glaze, and I can definitely see that on this bake. Overall, I'm underwhelmed by my own bake. For my first hand at patisserie, I think it's pretty good. I see where I want to improve. There are things that I like, there are things that I don't like. I just wish it was a daintier. I wish I could say if I saw this in a shop, I would want to buy it, but that's not really what I'm feeling. It tastes really good. It just doesn't execute to the level that I was hoping for by using tarragon, which is something I'm not used to cooking with, much less in a dessert. So overall, probably not semi-final worthy, but that's okay. Again, trying this for the first time. I've never done anything patisserie-wise, or have I? Do cupcakes count? So the tart shell, it's quite thin, which I kind of anticipated, and it crumbles well, but it also holds well. So I'm overall pretty pleased with it. It's very sugar cookie-like, I think. I know that some tart shells can be pretty thick, but this is nice thin, it's crumbly. I think it's good. I would definitely use this again. I would be a bit more mindful on how thin I roll it, but patching it together worked just fine. I did have some cracks on the other ones, but this did really well for the first time using that gluten-free flour blend. I honestly couldn't tell that it's gluten-free. It was like a normal tart shell, so yay. I don't really know what to say now. That's pretty much it. I have a wonderful lemon curd tart. Should have probably done a different filling for the tart and in the dome. I think that there's just way too much lemon curd for really anything else to shine through. But good thing that the lemon curd is delicious. So it's delicious, it's just not like up here in terms of complexity. Stop it. In terms of complexity of flavor. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this patisserie journey. If you're a baker, let me know if you've tried patisserie. What's the daintiest, prettiest little thing you've ever made? I'd love to know. So I hope to see you back next week for the final. I can't believe that this series is almost over. I'm really excited for what I have planned. It's still in the works, but I'm really excited. If you liked this video, then give it a like. If you have enjoyed this series, please subscribe, all that stuff. And I hope to see you next week for finals week. Let's do it.